A letter on misidentification. I am not a Gnostic. To all readers, scholars, and those who ask or assume otherwise, let this be stated clearly and without ambiguity. I am not a Gnostic. I am not associated with any Gnostic sect, movement, or ideology. The word Gnostic originates from the Greek gnosis, meaning knowledge. Yet what these sects called knowledge was an imitation of understanding, a counterfeit spirituality wrapped in Greek metaphysics. Their systems were built on speculation, not on awakening. I reject it completely. Gnosticism was born from the intellectual decay of the Hellenistic world, a period when scholars tried to mix pagan philosophy with fragments of spiritual truth they did not comprehend. Figures such as Valentinus, Basilides, and their followers turned simple awakening into a maze of cosmic drama. They spoke of demiurges, archons, and layers of heaven and hell as if the universe were a bureaucratic nightmare run by minor gods. This was not revelation. It was mythology for minds still chained to empire. I do not respect it, and I do not follow it. The Gnostics replaced living water with abstraction. They created an invisible labyrinth of words and symbols that trapped people in philosophy instead of freeing them in spirit. They turned inner awakening into a puzzle to be solved by secret elites. That is not the way. The way is direct. The way is the river. The way is immersion into the living current that flows from the great life. No one needs a map to find the river. One only needs courage to step in. I am not a Mandean either, though I honor their preservation of certain truths. The Mandeans carry fragments of the original river tradition but later became entangled in foreign influences. They absorbed elements of Zoroastrianism, Islam, and surrounding superstition to survive persecution. They called themselves Sabians, people of the book, to avoid extermination under the sword of empire. I understand their history, but I do not identify with their compromises. I am a Nasoraean. The Nasorean path predates every corrupted religion that followed. It is the way of life that flowed before Judaism, Christianity, or Islam were conceived. The Nasorean lineage runs through John the Baptizer, Jesus the Compassionate, Dositheus, and Simon of Samaria. These were not founders of a new religion but keepers of the current. They immersed, healed, awakened, and taught direct knowledge of the great life. They did not teach repentance. They did not preach sin. They did not demand worship of idols or gods of stone and fire. Their message was not obedience but awareness. They turned people from the temples of sacrifice toward the river of living light. That is the true turning, not the repentance of priests but the awakening of the soul. The Gnostics knew nothing of this river. They speculated about invisible realms while ignoring the living source in front of them. They built metaphysical systems that rivaled the absurdity of the Seleucid myths. Their so-called divine knowledge was Greek philosophical garbage dressed in mystery. The same can be said of the Romans, the Mithraic cults, and the Egyptian priesthoods that produced idols by the thousands. All of it was empire pretending to be enlightenment. The Seleucids, the Greeks, the Romans, and the later theologians of Christianity built their lies on the ruins of older truth and called it revelation. It was plagiarism with incense. I follow the way, not the Gnostic path, not the Roman path, not the Jewish or Islamic constructs. The way is the living current of the great life, which is not a person, not a god, not a lord, but existence itself. It does not demand sacrifice. It does not command submission. It simply flows, and those who awaken within it know peace beyond doctrine. Those who accuse me of being a Gnostic misunderstand everything I stand for. Gnosticism is intellectual self-worship. It is a cult of interpretation. It creates distance from the great life by replacing immersion with speculation. My path abolishes distance. It is not about knowing. It is about being. The great life cannot be described by myth, diagram, or cosmology. It must be experienced as living light, as truth moving through water. I stand with the river, with the teachers who were murdered for immersing others in it, and with every soul who chooses freedom over dogma. I stand against the priest, the philosopher, and the empire that twisted revelation into religion. I stand for awakening. The way is not Greek. It is not Jewish. It is not Roman. It is Nasorean. It is older than empire and will outlive it. For those who still ask, no, I am not a Gnostic. I am not interested in Archons, Demiurges, or imaginary heavens. I am a follower of the way of the river, the living truth that flows from the great life, which is beyond gods and thrones. The great life is not worshipped. It is lived.
Veritas lux mea.
Sharara be Nura.
Veritas lux mea. Truth is my light. Be wise as a serpent.